Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to the Chainlink Fall 2022 Hackathon. We're going to give it just a couple minutes for some people to come into the session and then we'll get started. Let's get some GMs in the chat. Hey Cromwell, how's it going? Oh wow, 1:15 in Pakistan. Thank you for joining. It is 6:46 a.m. here in Australia. So good morning, good evening from wherever you're from. We'll get started in just a couple of minutes. Just let a few more people join. Quick hackathon trivia. Let's see if anyone can come up with something. What is a 2 or 3 word phrase that you would describe a hackathon as to someone non-technical? Let's see if anyone can come up with anything cool. Building solutions, like it. Nice one. Chance to build with other devs, another good one. Welcome everyone. We're going to give it just one more minute. Amusement park for builders. Love that one. Absolutely love it. Code away problems. Nice one. Creating for the mankind and having fun. Awesome. Same as songwriting camp, I guess. Cool. Okay, I think we're going to get started now. Let me just make sure everything's working properly. We are live. Yep. All right, let's do it. Getting to an MVP fast. Love that one too. Okay, let's go. I'll share my screen. We'll do this one. Cool. So today's session is called Gearing Up for the Hackathon. So my name is Harry Papakrisiou. I'm a developer advocate manager at Chainlink Labs, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here today to talk to everyone about the hackathon. So my socials are on the screen. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can reach me at Papas, P-A-P-P-A-S 9999. Or if you want to follow me on other socials, check out my link tree there at Papas99. I will just share my Twitter in the chat for anyone that wants. Cool. Let's move forward. So a wise man once said to me, hackathons are addictive. And, you know, in this case, this person was right. Hackathons are these cool competitions where we get together, we come up with these amazing ideas that solve issues. And it's done in this really tight pressure cooker situation where we're kind of pressed for time. And there's this environment where there's money and prizes on the line and things like that. But, you know, how should you approach a hackathon? What are some of the things you should be doing to be successful? What are some of the things you shouldn't be doing to be successful? What are the things you should care about? What are the things you should look out for? These are a couple of the things we're going to discuss over the next few minutes. And hopefully you'll end up leaving with some value of how you should approach a hackathon. So feel free to ask any questions in the chat. I'll try get to all of them. And yeah, let's move forward. cool to see. We've got advocates here in the chat as well. Awesome. So let's talk about what makes a good project submission first. Something very important. So these things are probably the three most golden rules I could give anyone if they said, what are the top three things you should you'd give someone in terms of tips for a hackathon? So the very first one is make sure all of your code, documentation, and videos, any links that you submit as part of your hackathon are public and that people other than yourself can view them. This is one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they do submissions. They submit a video and it's private, or they submit a GitHub URL and it's not public, or they submit a pitch deck, or they submit a Word document or something, and we don't have access to see it, right? And it sucks because we really want to see everyone's project. So when we don't see it, we usually flag it as saying, hey, we can't see this one, and then we move on. So absolutely make sure that anything you submit is public so that the judges and the community as well can see it, because the community loves to see the project submissions as well and see the videos, see the code, see all the details and stuff like that. So absolutely make sure everything you submit is public. Test it from another account, test it from a private browser window. Make sure that everyone is going to be able to see your submission. The second one is make sure you use the tool protocol service in your hackathon. So, depending on what hackathon you're doing, whether it's a Chainlink hackathon, a Solana hackathon, whatever, make sure you use that in your submission as well, because that's the whole idea behind some of these. So in the case of Chainlink, make sure your hackathon uses Chainlink in some form or way. Make sure you use price feeds, on-chain, off-chain, whatever, it doesn't matter. VRF, automation, API calls, anything like that. As long as you use Chainlink in this case, your submission will be a valid submission. So make sure you're using the protocol, tool, or service of that hackathon in the submission to make sure that you're eligible to win prizes and stuff like that. And the last one is, in my opinion, having something that works is more important than having something polished or having something with like a broader scope, right? So don't focus on building this fully featured dApp with all the bells and whistles, right? But then you only get partway through finishing it, right? Focus on building a small MVP or a small subset of the features of your dApp that you want. Get that working, get that in a state where you can actually demo it to the public, to us, to the judges. And then if you get time, then add the next feature and then add the next feature, etc. Right? Don't try build Rome in a day. Focus on a small subset first and then expand, because it will make your video submission a lot better if you can convey that you've actually created something that works. So yeah, they're the three golden hackathon rules that I like to share with people as kind of the most important things to focus on and look out for. Cool, so let's move on. Now, teamwork makes the dream work. This is definitely true for hackathons as well as a whole bunch of other stuff, right? So the best projects for hackathons are usually ones that are done by teams, not individuals. So try to team up with people as part of this hackathon. Go into our Discord, find teammates channel, throw yourself out there, put in a paragraph about yourself, say who you are, what kind of things you've worked on before, what are some of your strengths, what you're looking for in teammates. Take a read through the channel, start DMing some other people and say, hey, I saw that you're like, you're a front-end engineer. Would you like to team up with me? I know how to code Solidity, and just see if you can come up with some teammates that you can work together with. So a good project team will usually split responsibilities between multiple members. So, for example, one person could be responsible for the smart contracts. Another person could be responsible for the front-end stuff. One person could be doing the front-end plumbing into the back-end. One person could be responsible for the demo, or even one person could be responsible for orchestrating everything and acting as kind of like a project manager, making sure everyone's doing their bit and kind of putting all the pieces together. But however you do it, if you get yourself a team, it's a great way to set yourself up for success. And we know sometimes things don't go to plan all the time, right? So, sometimes teammates bail on you and things like that. That's just the nature of doing things with others, especially randoms on the internet in what's a virtual competition. So, but I think you just need to roll with the punches in this case. And most important of all, have fun. Hackathons are meant to be fun. So they're a great way to meet people in the developer community, great way to connect with them. Some of these people that you work with might be people that you work and interact with as employees in the industry in the future. So definitely have fun and don't be afraid to throw yourself out there and meet people. Cool. So that's teamwork. Let's move on. So now I'm going to chat a little bit about I'm going to give everyone some alpha on the judging criteria. Yes, make fun together. That is exactly what we want you to do. And that's a great description for a hackathon as well. So I guess each hackathon could be a little bit different, but when we judge hackathon submissions as part of Chainlink hackathons, this is the way that we kind of judge projects. So we have 5 different categories that we look for, and for each of those categories, we give a project a score out of 5, I think it is, and then at the end result gets multiplied to come up with a score out of 100. So I'll just talk about some of these and kind of what are some of the best way to approach some of them. So the first one is absolutely important. It's the UI, user experience, developer experience. 20% of your grade is for the submission is on this front end, right? So how intuitive is it? How nice does it look aesthetically? How does it flow when we're trying to go through and do things? So absolutely, if you can get someone who's like really good on front end stuff, absolutely try and get them to be the focus on the front end. Get them to just focus on front end and not worry about other stuff if you can. That's probably one of the biggest tips I can give, because doing front end stuff is not the easiest if you're not familiar with it. I know I definitely am not a front end specialist, that's for sure. But yeah, absolutely get someone to focus on the front end if you can, because 20% of your whole grade depends on it. So the second one is originality. How original is your project? Is it just an NFT drop or something that's been done a million times before? Or is it some brand new DApp or protocol that solves this amazing problem for people that no one's ever built before, right? So we'll take a look at your submission and kind of ask that question. How original do we think this project is, based on the video, based on the description, based on the code, based on everything we can see, and we'll kind of score it out of 5. So obviously something that we feel we haven't seen as much before is going to score higher than something that we've seen many times before. Cool. So the next one is technicality. How technical is your project? This is where we will take a look at your code in GitHub or wherever you're hosting your code, and we'll take a look at the smart contracts, front-end code, plumbing, like all of that stuff, and basically work out in terms of complexity of the code, what do we think this project should get out of 5, right? So this is purely based on how technical we think your submission is. So another thing to kind of keep an eye out and think about. So the next one after that is practicality. So how practical is your project? Does it sound like something that can be used by the world? Would it improve people's lives in some way? Make it easier or more efficient for them? Or is it just something that doesn't really, people won't really find too much value in, right? So if you think about the practicalities of building your project, what is your idea solving? How does it make people's lives better, easier, more efficient, things like that, or more fun? And the last category is wow factor. This is kind of, it's not really a tangible thing, but when we judge projects, like we're literally judging hundreds of projects within a few days. So you can imagine we spend a few minutes on each project. We see a lot of work, a lot of videos, a lot of code. The wow factor is how much does your project stand out compared to others as we're kind of going through it, right? And there's a lot of things that can contribute to the wow factor. It could be the video, it could be the code, just the idea in itself. But we'll basically rate it based on how impressed were we overall with the project based on everything that we looked at. So that's kind of like the wow factor. So something to think about as well. So there you have it, the 5 judging criteria: UI, UX, how original is your project, how technical is your project, how practical would it be in the real world, and what's the wow factor of your project. So there you go, guys and girls. The 5 judging criteria for the Chainlink Fold Hackathon. Now you know, have these in the back of your mind as you're building your project. Let's move on. Oh, hold on, there's a question here. Are these criteria ranked, e.g. the UI being the most important one and the wow factor being the least? No, they're not ranked. They are all equally weighted out of 5. So you get a score out of 5 for each one. So you get a total score out of 25, and then that's multiplied by 4 to get a score out of 100. So they're treated equally. So the UI UX DX is just has just as much importance as originality, technicality, practicality, and wow factor as well. Great question. So let's talk about the video. So the video demo definitely matters. You should always absolutely show a demo of your project in your video so that we can see it work, right? We want to see that the code works, that your idea actually works, right? So this is where the video comes in. So and with the video, it's about quality, not quantity, right? We don't necessarily want like a really long video. You have to remember we're going through hundreds of projects when we're judging. So if you have a really long video, there's a good chance that we might just skip through certain parts of it, right? Because we can't sit and watch a 20-minute video when we have, 400 projects to judge, right? But if you have a 3 to 5 minute video, I think that's like a real good mix of length and time to kind of convey that your project works and stuff like that. So if you can keep it 3 to 5 minutes, that's absolutely perfect, right? And try and make something to kind of grab the attention's judges, right, in the first few seconds to kind of be like, oh, this looks interesting. Let's see what this is about, right? So that's kind of the tips I can give for the video. Keep it short, keep it quality, make sure you show a demo of your thing working. There's a couple of questions in the chat here. Can we continue to modify code and description after the 18th of November? The answer to that one, I'm just checking the schedule here to make sure the dates are right. Yeah. So after the 18th of November, you can no longer make modifications to your project because that is the project submission deadline, and we'll be starting to judge things soon after that. And if we see code commits after that in GitHub, there's a chance that we'll not count them towards your submission. If you need to update like an image or something because you noticed an error or something like that on DevPost, that's probably fine. But yeah, I don't think you can't change the actual project after the submission's due. Hey, if we are making DAO as a project, I think, did you miss the rest of the question there? Should we make a quick and funny video, or does it have to be serious? It's up to you completely. I actually personally like the funny videos because they grab our attention. So if you can put some humor in there, definitely recommend doing that. But you don't have to if you don't want to. The important thing is keep it short, keep it quality. Can you play video on slide with the Tesla? I can't because it's a screenshot, but I'll share the link with you. This is a hackathon submission that I did a couple of years ago for the Chainlink hackathon. I'll share that in the chat with you. Feel free to watch it after. In this one, it's a little bit long, so I know it's against what I said, but in that case, I did like a cool, funny intro. So I actually added some humor in that one. What comes after the hackathon? Could we have a chance to meet and network with potential investors or incubators? Yes, depending on how your project goes, you do get the opportunity to kind of do those things. And there are some projects that have gone on to get seed funding and gone on to mainnet and get a whole bunch of users as well. So the answer is definitely yes. But cool, let's move on and I'll answer any more questions as we get to the end. I'm just checking the time here. Now, here's one for the bounty hunters. If you're a bounty hunter, these are the people that enter multiple hackathons. They want to kind of get as much prize money as possible. Here's a couple of tips. Obviously, the better your submission, the more chances you get of winning some of the prizes. The top prize is really what everyone would be going for the most, because that's the most prize money. So for these major prizes, make sure you take note of the criteria that I talked about earlier, and look at them, and then work out what would you judge yourself out of 5 for each one, right? So obviously that's the main way to kind of get prizes, but there's also other prizes too, right? There's sponsor prizes, there's pooled prizes, right, for if you use their technology. So don't discount those. They're a great way to kind of win some prize money as well, especially if you're newer to hackathons and things like that. Just by using a technology, you can win some of the pooled prize money too, right? Where some of the sponsors allocate a certain amount of prize money, and it gets split between all of the projects that actually use that technology or tool or service, right? So definitely keep an eye on those as well. Another tactic as well that I like to use is take a look at the sponsor prizes and see if there's one that you think you could really tackle and own and be really good at, right? And also, the less likely you think others are likely to go for one of these sponsor prizes, the better your chances. So, for example, we have a Solana track this year where Solana are sponsoring 10K prize for people who build something using Chainlink and Solana. So if you're a Rust developer, like, that's perfect for you if you know Rust, or if you want to try and focus on something on the Rust side of things. So definitely take a look at the sponsor prizes. They're a great way to kind of win prize money as well. What if I'm new to this? Even if you're new, you should definitely enter. Definitely try and create a project. Definitely build a team. It's a great experience. Even if you've never done it before, you'll find that it's addictive. Like I said earlier, and you'll be entering multiple hackathons. And you can still win prizes too, right? There's pooled prizes. So definitely enter if you're new. Can one person participate on 2 or more teams? Ooh, that one I'm not sure about. You should ask that one in the Chainlink Discord in the Hackathon channel, and I will check with the team and get back to you on that one. Merch prizes, yes. Merch prizes for all. I think we do give away merch as part of our hackathon. But yeah, who doesn't love merch? Super inspiring hearing your story on a podcast I listened to recently. Thank you for that, Mike. That's awesome. And yeah, hackathons are a great way to get employment in industry. They're kind of where recruiters and companies look for. It's one of the main places. So if you want to get a job in Web3, hackathons are where you want to be. I can see some more questions. I've nearly finished. I'll answer some of these questions in a couple of minutes. So the absolute most important thing as part of the hackathon, or any hackathon, is make sure you submit your project, right? Entering a hackathon and not submitting is kind of like running a marathon and then like not being able to finish and then just bombing out, right? Even with a marathon, even if you can't run or ride the bike or whatever, just finishing will give you that sense of satisfaction and the confidence to participate next time and things like that. And you feel so much better. So a hackathon is exactly the same. Make sure you submit what you have, even if it's not complete, even if it's not finished, even if you think it sucks, even if you think it has bugs, make sure you submit it anyway, right? Finishing the journey is important. It's not just about whether you win a prize or not. It's about completing the journey. It'll give you the confidence for the next one. So remember, always submit what you have, whether you've finished it or not, whether you think it's good or not. Make sure you submit what you have. And yeah, that's kind of what I had to say today. So just good luck to everyone. I hope you found value in this. I really look forward to seeing what everyone builds and interacting with you all in the Discord and things like that. We're going to be monitoring the Discord more heavily, especially the technical channels to help people out. And yeah, wishing everyone luck and hope everyone has an amazing fall 2022 hackathon experience with Chainlink. So I know there's a couple more questions in the chat, so let's take a look at those now. Where can we find a list of sponsor prizes? They should be on hack.chain.link. If they are not, I will ensure that Yes, they are on hack.chain.link, and the website gets updated regularly. So over the next few days, you may see some more sponsor prizes come in. But yeah, for now, definitely check out hack.chain.link. It's kind of hard to find a team as a noob. Do you have any advice on how to find teams as a beginner? Most ignore you in the Discord if you say that you're new when you try to find a team. Yes, that is a very good question. I would try to send some DMs to people in the Discord. If you don't have people that you can team up with that you know in real life, you kind of need to be a bit more active or proactive online. So you need to PM people, DM people. Sorry, you can go to other Discords, speak to people as well, post on Reddits and things like that to try and find team members. Yeah, I understand your pain as someone who's new. Sometimes people are interested in, more experienced people, but don't give up. Keep trying, and you will get to the stage where you're not new to things. And the more hackathons you enter, the more confidence you get, the more experience you get. You'll find people chasing you once you start posting about yourself. I hope that helps a little bit. Can I participate if I'm alone? I'm not comfy with English native speaker. Yes, you definitely can. You don't have to join a team as part of a team. You can submit on your own. You can still win prizes on your own. I've submitted hackathon projects on my own and won prizes as well, and had a great experience. So definitely, if you're not confident to go as a team or to join up with team members, you definitely can still do things by yourself. Your door has Chainlink style. Yes, thank you. They're actually Elgato sound panels to try and improve the sound in the room a little bit. Yeah, I think they're really cool as well. How do we submit a project? There's going to be there's going to be some info coming out as the hackathon progresses on how to submit. But essentially, you need to create the project on DevPost, I believe it is, and there'll be a type form that you need to fill out before a certain deadline, like an online form. But more info will be coming out on that soon. What should the live demo look like? What if you can't host it anywhere? So you don't need to do a live demo as part of your submission. If you can, cool. We'll go to it. We'll take a look. We might even try interact with it a little bit, but you don't have to host your solution anywhere. As long as you have a video demo that shows you or someone using the project on a, even if it's locally deployed or anything like that, that's the more important thing we're looking for. So you don't have to have a live demo. Yeah, great comment here from Frost here. Even if you end up working alone, you'll learn a lot and have a great experience for next time. This is absolutely true. So yeah, if you can't find a team, or if you don't want to find a team, still enter, still do something solo, still submit it. We'd love to see it. And like we said here, you'll learn a lot and you'll have some great experience and you'll still have fun. Awesome. We are at time now. So if there's no other questions, I think we might end it. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining. Hope everyone has an amazing Chainlink hackathon experience. We can't wait to see what everyone builds. And yeah, best of luck. Thank you.